if you're going to develop a product, you must learn how to become an entrepreneur, learn the skill set, take a course, read. It's really important to do that because, I mean, unless you're handing your product to somebody else, you got to name it and claim it and do the work behind it in order to get the product out. I've had a lot of people hand me things and say, okay. And I always say, I cannot love your product or market your product better than you can. I can teach you the skill set. And you got to talk about it. You've got to talk about what your product is.
How can you help us, though, continue to help you? First, please subscribe to the channel. Like us. If you listen to the audio version, leave us a 5-star review wherever you can. If you see our posts, please share those posts, share the content, and link back to our law firm website, which helps us to continue our SEO marketing and grow our firm and help small business owners. All right, everybody, welcome back to another show. I'm Mitch Beinhacker, your host, and we're talking inventions today. So I'm excited to talk to Lisa. I love when I have inventors on the show. We're going to talk about her inventions, what she's doing to support the invention community, kind of things like what you can do if you have an idea and what you want to do. And we'll talk a little bit about some of protecting your IP. I guess I'll cover that from the legal side. So if you're listening, leave us a 5-star review. If you're watching us, we're trying to beef up the YouTube channel. So, be sure to subscribe and like us and all those great things. So as I always say, because I am a little bit of a paranoid attorney, if you are listening to us, especially today, and you hear advice and things that we talk about, do not make decisions without talking to local professionals. So, you want to talk to an intellectual property attorney, you want to talk to your local business attorney, tax decisions, talk to a financial professional, all that type of stuff. So enough said about that. Always get advice locally with licensed professionals. So Lisa, thanks for joining me on the show. I know I discovered we're both in Jersey, which is good. I don't get a lot of those, believe it or not. And so why don't we talk about like your background in inventions and maybe some stories about things you have invented and stuff like that.
So great. Thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. And I love the name of it, by the way. You know how many times I became an accidental inventor, an entrepreneur?
Of course, you just stumble along things, right? That's kind of the way it works. Yeah.
So my background is I invent. I went to Brooklyn College for a little while, moved out to New Jersey. Well, let me just start by saying, born in London, raised in Brooklyn by West Indian parents. So anyway, so as a kid, I was always an inventor, inventing something all the time, constantly. And being raised in Brooklyn, we had handball courts.
Oh, there you go.
Right. So to give you a jump start on one of my inventions. So playing handball, your shoelaces can't come apart. My shoelaces would come apart, come untied.
Right.
So
you'd trip
and fall. Can't do that. You gotta nail it. So one day I went home, started recreating shoelaces that would stay together so they wouldn't come apart. And I didn't think I was an inventor. I never thought I was an inventor. So that was at 12 years old. At 9 years old, there were things I was doing around the house, ripping up my mother's drapes, creating necklaces and hair accessories and all kinds of things. So talking about being an accidental entrepreneur, I was an entrepreneur back then.
Was this in your blood? Was it your parents that did this or just you were just curious and you just would find things?
You're born an inventor. You're born an entrepreneur. You just are, as far as I'm concerned.
You just haven't discovered it yet, right?
You just haven't discovered it yet. So as a kid, I would do these things, create. And as I got a little bit older, I was very young when I had my first child, and I was very, very embarrassed to nurse or breastfeed in front of anybody. So what did I do? I came up with a solution for that problem, right?
Yeah.
I created a product called the Bosom Buddy Breastfeeding Cape.
Nice.
So I was able to nurse, in public, privately.
Yeah, I've seen them before. It's good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was able to do that and on and on and on. So, I mean, I took that product, long story short, I created prototypes out of it, went to a dry cleaner.
You were an adult at this point, Lisa?
I was an adult at this point. Okay. I skipped over a whole lot, but I was still young.
No, but it's hard to do when you're 12. You need kind of adult help to bring it to market.
Patent attorneys.
Yeah, you can't even own anything in your
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I was a little bit older, got the Bosom Buddy, took it to a IP attorney, patent attorney, got it trademarked, etc., and started marketing it the worst way ever.
Yeah.
In the worst way ever.
Was there even any social media at that point or anything?
No.
You had to
No, it was door to door. I was knocking on doors.
Oh, nice.
Sears and Roebuck.
Oh yeah.
Speaking to managers in stores, all the wrong things.
Yeah.
Marketing in all the wrong ways. There was snail mail. There was no, I wasn't doing internet, none of that stuff. So
Right.
everything was, okay, look, go to the yellow pages,
Right.
look up stores that may want to carry my bosom buddy and call
Yeah, go knock on their door. Yeah.
and make those phone calls.
Did that work?
Find out addresses. And you know what? No, that didn't work. Find No, get some addresses and start really looking people up, making contacts, and start mailing out some samples.
Okay.
And that was really my first stint into a real product into the world. And that did work. I mean, I was able to get in touch with some mother care stores across the country, and did sell out what I created, what I developed. I manufactured about 2,500 units,
Okay.
in New Jersey, had them manufactured in New Jersey, and one door at a time. I was able to market and get the product out.
But it's networking.
Astonishing to me.
That works, like building networks and connections, and that's why it worked.
It did work. It did work. And keeping those connections, following up and keeping those connections. You know what I mean? You could get those connections, and without follow up, you're never going to hold on to anybody. Like Jerry Seinfeld says, you can make the reservation, but it's keeping the reservation. You are Seinfeld?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Same thing. So you got to make that connection and keep that connection.
Got it. Okay.
So that was my stint into developing and having people actually like my product. And that's where the real inventing bug came in. One product after another. I'll give you another example. Every Sunday I went to church, and I would pull my hair up into a ponytail, create a bun, right? And my parents go, let's go, let's go, let's go. No time to really do anything fancy. So I'd go into my drawer and take out a fancy sock, and every Sunday put my hair in a sock, a bun, right? Okay. Gorgeous bun, tendrils coming down the whole nine. I go to church, and every Sunday somebody said, wow, that's beautiful. Where'd you get that?
Right.
And I'm going, it's a sock. I didn't say this.
Right.
I'm like going, if they only knew this was a sock. This was a sock. I may have said it to a couple of people. And then the light bulb finally went off.
Right.
Went home, redesigned that sock thing.
Be a product, right.
Yep. Went to fabric store, got some other materials, made it look a little bit different from a sock.
Yeah.
Put that together and met with someone, got that manufactured, presented it to QVC, and
it blew up.
Voila, it blew up.
Right. But you had already kind of mastered how to get the product done part, right? Because you had connections now. You did that. That's always the hardest part, I think, the first invention that you have. Like, how do you actually make this thing and prototype it and put it together, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but how'd you get into QVC? Had you done stuff with them before, or this was like knocking on the door?
Sorry, I'm going to go back to the bosom buddy thing. So this is where the accidental entrepreneur thing comes in.
Okay.
So I'm up in North Jersey somewhere. My children were modeling. My daughter was doing a catalog for Imaginarium.
Oh, sure.
And a young woman next to me, we just started talking. Both our kids are modeling. And she says, what do you do? I said, well, I'm an inventor. I don't think I ever said that before. I said, I'm an inventor. Yeah. She goes, really? If you have an invention, she goes, I bring products to QVC.
Perfect.
That connection at this place in, I think it was Clark, New Jersey.
My office is.
Exactly. We developed this relationship and kept on talking. And eventually I showed her the sock. It was called the bun tie. And she said, this is a product for QVC. Now, making the prototype and all that stuff, I don't know if you want me to get into that.
Yeah,
but making
talk about it. Yeah.
Okay, so making the prototype first is very important. Understanding, how to design, taking it to somebody who could create a prototype.
Right.
For me, since it was fabric, I went to a dry cleaner.
Okay.
Showed the dry cleaning. They had, somebody who did some stitching and sewing in there, and they developed these prototypes for me, both the bosom buddy as well as the bun tie.
The sewing.
They did the sewing.
Directions. Got it.
They did the sewing. They created this product for me based upon my terrible drawings and my terrible prototypes that I made for myself. But they somehow understood it.
Yeah.
So that's how I got started with prototyping and understanding, and also taking a course on business.
Yeah. But dealing with places like QVC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's not like you're selling out of a cart at a craft store, or you're going to a local real retailer and you're saying, all right, I'll sell you 50 units and let's see how they sell through. If they're going to go on QVC, they want to know that you're ready, right, to fulfill. I mean, what if they sell 10,000 units during a show? It's part of a show, right? So they're
Yeah,
showing different products and you're selling out. So how'd you deal with that? Did you have to have a warehouse full of stuff? I mean, what was the deal?
absolutely. So when you go to QVC, you have to have a finished product. Obviously, you're not
Yeah,
bringing them a
right.
prototype,
Of course not.
which I actually did. One of my first products on air was a prototype.
Oh,
It was a
I mean, it
prototype. Oh,
wasn't ready to go to market. Like you couldn't just ship it tomorrow.
not even close.
What had you convince them to
Not
do
even
that?
close. I was very lucky and very blessed.
Okay.
So this product I brought to QVC was called the Wrap and Store Organizer. It was for wrapping paper. It had various
Okay.
pockets and so forth. It had a roll down bar. Got a meeting with this buyer, showed it to her, and she said, a really nice product. However, it needs to have this, this, and this. I said, really? She says, if you're willing to do this, this, that, and the other thing, I'm willing to see you again. But you
Okay.
have to have the product manufactured and all that. So I brought
Right.
back a finished working prototype to this buyer.
Okay.
And she said, I love it. Get me 3,500 units and we're going to put you on air.
Okay.
And manufactured 3,500 units overseas. And the
Okay.
product went on air and sold and sold and sold and sold.
So that you had to take the risk, right? You had to buy the products and have them made and find the money or whatever. And then if it didn't sell, you're stuck with them.
100% a risk.
Yeah. They don't want any risk.
No, listen, everybody out, any inventor, entrepreneur out there, it's always a risk.
Right, because you don't have the leverage. It's the big companies that. Now, did you have to be the person, like, if for some reason there were returns, you got to take them back and give them
That's
the money
right.
back? Yeah.
You have to be. So, I mean, I want to talk about like not being tunnel vision either. When you're developing a product, you can't have tunnel vision. Most of my clients come to me and say three things. Can you get my product on QVC?
Right.
Can you get me on Shark Tank? And how fast? And
Yeah.
how fast? I
Yeah.
mean, really, these things they're delusions of grandeur, I
Of
call it,
course.
right? Because
Well,
it's,
it
I mean, but
happens to
you,
be a very tiny percentage of the industry for you to get on those shows. Like, that's not the general path to success. It
it's not.
seems that way because we watch TV and it's very,
Yeah.
like you said, grandeur. You just, yeah, oh, I want to be in front of, Mark Cuban and Laura Grenier and wow.
Right. And I mean, hopes are and dreams are great, but I mean, the reality of things, the whole thing is when you develop a product, look for other avenues, right?
Yeah.
I looked for other avenues. I looked local stores. I made those phone calls. Looking local. It's huge.
Yeah.
Damon John sold T-shirts out of his trunk and
Yeah.
hats out of his trunk,
Right.
and drove up and down, the turnpike,
He hustled.
looking for places to. That's it. You have to
Yeah.
be on your hustle and on your game. And I always was. As I said to you in the beginning, I was born an entrepreneur. I was born an inventor. I have that energy to want to do it. I
Right.
love, you know what I mean? Love
Yeah.
the,
Some people, it's like they have this great idea, but to approach people and ask them to buy your product and will they do, they just don't have it in them. And they fall short on, oh, that was a great idea. I should have thought of that. Yeah, but that's like 10% of the whole thing. You got to be able to market it and sell it and find the buyers and get it out there. And, and it sounds like you have it in your nature to do that.
yeah. And I mean, as a child, I was doing that. I mean, at that 12-year-old selling the hair accessories in school and the shoelaces and all those,
Right.
selling
None of
them.
that
That
bothered
was,
you. You were doing it.
I didn't know I was an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Well,
Didn't
you probably
call
didn't
it,
even know
still
what that
didn't call.
was, right?
I didn't, of
I
course. I
didn't
couldn't
when I was
spell it.
12. Yeah, right. Of course.
I didn't become an entrepreneur until I could spell it.
Yeah, well, that's probably, probably me too. I just thought it was some French word, and I don't know how, but you're right. Now it's like very common. Every business owner is an entrepreneur, which, by the way, I don't know how you feel about it. I don't think every business owner is an entrepreneur. Every entrepreneur isn't even a business owner, right? Because you might just be an inventor and you're not really a business owner. You're just making products, whatever. I think we muddy the waters there.
However, you have to be. So
You gotta have the skill, right?
if you're going to develop a product, you must learn how to become an entrepreneur, learn the skill set, take a course,
Right.
read. It's really important to do that because, I mean, unless you're handing your product to somebody else,
Right.
to market for you, but you still need a business name. You still need to name the product.
Right.
As much as you try to run away from it, you got to name it
Yeah,
and claim it. You've got
absolutely.
to name it and claim it and do the work behind it in order to get the product out.
Right.
I've had a lot of people hand me things and say, okay. And I said, I always say, I cannot love your product or market your product better than you can. I can
Of
teach you the
course.
skill set.
Right.
And you got to talk about it. You've got to talk about what your product is.
Right. And that doesn't mean that you should be doing everything yourself, but it means that you should be the driving force to get the people to do the things you shouldn't be doing and doing the things you should be doing and understanding your business. And, how are people going to buy into your product if you're not really buying in, right? If it's as important to that person as it is to anyone else.
I want to know they're all in.
Yeah.
Anybody I'm the consultant. I'm the person who will get the job done. I'll get it manufactured. I'll get it marketed. However, they have to be all in. They have to be on fire like this.
Right. So,
You know what I
is
mean?
that part of your process? Like if you meet somebody, you're looking to evaluate them, right? Do they really have it in them? Like, do I really want to take these people on if they're not, in your opinion, like committed to this or have it in their blood or whatever? Because it'll just be frustrating for you, right? I mean, you're trying to help them and they're not doing the things that you're telling them to do.
Right. They have to be open at least. I mean, everybody's not on fire, right? Everybody's
Well,
not jumping
obviously.
around.
Yeah.
Everybody's not jumping around like
Fire's
this.
a
But I
relative
want
term.
right.
Yeah. Right.
Right. I want them to be I want them to know like their product and
Right.
understand it and understand that the market and do some research
Yeah.
and understand that okay, this is a niche market product. Everybody in the whole world's not going to buy it.
Right.
No, it's not a QVC product. No, it's probably not going to hit Shark Tank until you get some momentum, right?
Yeah.
Like anything else. So I want people to be in it to win it.
Yeah.
You got to be in it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Lisa, I think most people who start a business or have a product idea, whatever, they don't even know how they're going to sell this thing, like how they're going to market. And I think that is such a
None.
huge part of, I mean, look, you can know your financials, right? You and I can do pro forma. We can project all kinds of stuff. We can know our product. We can maybe have some people to support us. But if we don't know how we're going to sell this thing, how we're going to reach the market, how we're going to get, if you don't have that part answered, then I always tell people, don't waste your money. Don't end up with a garage full of whatever it is that you made, right? And you had it made in China and came over in boxes and it's all, and you have no way to sell it. You don't know who to sell it to. It's not in your blood. You don't understand the whole marketing side of it. Then you're wasting everyone's time.
Right. It has to be more than your mom and Mrs. Smith next door.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Then
Like
it's a hobby. Then it's just a hobby.
it's a hobby, a very, very expensive hobby. It
Yes.
just happened this morning. I asked someone,
Mm-hmm.
no names, not
Yeah,
naming
no
names.
names. It's a public show.
What, did you get it? Where is it? Right now it's in the garage. Have you opened them?
No.
I mean, it blows my mind. The amount of money
Yeah,
that you
I've seen
spend
it
to
too.
get the
I
products
know.
manufactured
Yes.
and it's shipped, it's at your house. I mean, that's the most exciting thing for me. You spend so much time, energy, money on all of these things and you get it and it's like, well, who's going to buy it? Now help me market this product. Help me market the product. We were doing this all along where you were supposed to be doing your due diligence, making that list,
Yes.
making those phone calls, getting your social media up and ready, getting your marketing profile ready.
Right.
All of those things. And it takes so much to put a product on the market, or get people to see it.
Right. Absolutely. Well, I think if you do the marketing work, right,
Hmm.
you may discover that it's not as big of a market that you think. And you're going to have to price point this thing and it's not going to be as profitable. And maybe it's a good hobby, but maybe you shouldn't be spending 10, 20, $30,000 on product. Maybe
Right.
you re-engineer it to reach a different marketplace. If you do it afterward and you have the garage full of stuff, you might run into a problem, right? You might run into that. You say, you know what, we've been looking at this thing. I don't know who's going to buy it. It's a very niche product. You're going to sell 10,000 units. It's going to be over.
Right. Exactly.
Point, right? That's a lot of work for nothing. So I think you need the answer to that question as early as possible.
Look at the market. Who's going to buy it?
Yeah.
Who's it for? Is it solving a problem? Whose problem? Is it
Yeah.
just
Oh, my
yours?
girlfriends or my boyfriends, they all said they would buy it. They think it's a great idea. Okay, that's 5 people.
Right.
That's not enough.
Who really like you?
Yeah, they're not going to tell you the truth.
No, absolutely not. I mean,
Right.
it's really, it's got to be a passion. It's And I'm not saying love your product so much that you're not seeing
Right.
the
You're blind.
reality of it.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I mean, because you could get blinded
Yeah,
also.
you could just fall in love with something and then just think everyone's going to love it and you don't bother to check it out. I've had so many clients who call me with a business or a product or whatever it is 4 or 5 months later and they're just like, this is not working. I got to shut this down. We got to liquidate our inventory. I'm like, well, why? Like, what did your business plan say? What about the market? They're like, unless they're working with you, like crickets. They're like, oh, well, we don't have a business plan. We thought it was good. We built the product. We bought the product and they have no answer.
And I have to tell you, Mitch, I believe anything today can be sold.
Probably true.
Anything can be sold, but you have to understand that market.
Yeah.
Go out there. I mean, look at TikTok or LinkedIn. We have so many different platforms, but you have to do it.
Right.
But you have to do it.
Right. But there's no excuse nowadays for a small business owner to be really marketing themselves. I think 20 years ago, it was harder. It was the bigger companies that could spend money on advertising and they could do stuff. And it was harder for the small business owner, the local person, to do anything more than, billboards and local advertising and things like that. But nowadays, it's not.
It's this. That's all it is. Do a
Correct.
video, put it on TikTok, and you're done.
Yeah.
But you got to keep on doing it.
Right.
You have to be persistent. One of my clients came to me the other and said, "How come this is not this? How come this magazine isn't moving?" Well, did you do a video? Did you put it on TikTok? Did you put it on social media? No. Where is it? I meant to put the video out. Who's going to see it?
Right.
I meant to put the video out.
Yeah.
This is so easy for me today, for my business today. It's so easy. And I'm not saying that, I'm just saying compared to the way
right.
compared to the way things were
Yeah.
when I started my business, this is such a piece of cake. Picking up the phone and literally going through the yellow pages. I hate to say that because it sounds like
I don't even know what the yellow pages is, Lisa.
I came in on a horse and buggy. I know.
Exactly.
With my rotary phone, all that.
Are there yellow pages still, like from the phone companies you can get? Can you?
Yes. No, they are. They are. They're still out there. I saw one. I saw one recently.
Send them to you. They don't just drop them on your porch. Like people, like my kids don't know that the phone book used to show up. And you needed somebody's phone number. You'd literally look it up in the white pages. And I mean, that's just ridiculous. But that's the way it was, right? If you wanted to keep in touch as a professional, right? I'm a service professional. So if I want to keep in touch with my clients, this 20 years ago, I didn't have an email list. I had to mail postcards and, call people. And now there's so many ways to automatically do all this stuff that there's no excuse for, look, maybe people don't like your product. They don't want to buy it, but there's certainly no excuse for getting the word out, right? You can, even if it's making you crazy after you put in the time to, blog about it and post about it, and you can then hire somebody. It doesn't even have to be in the United States, right? To do that for you. I do it because I got the point where I had to practice law, right? I can't just keep marketing.
Right.
She does it for me. But and it's not that expensive. There's ways to do it. So
not anymore.
There's really no excuse for not really getting out there and giving it the best shot that you can.
Right. But you have to understand that you need to do this. You have to do it. And we have so much access.
Right.
There's so much access. I mean, I kick myself some days for not doing things that I should be doing that are so easy. Just so simple.
Right.
Exactly. But thank God for my team. I have a great team of people. I could never do what I'm doing without a team of people.
What do they call them? Who's, not hows. You have a lot of who's. You can't do it yourself. There's that book, right? Somebody told me that recently. Who, not how.
No, you can't. It's impossible. I thought
succeed, right?
Yeah. No, I thought I had of that mindset. I thought that I could do it all.
Yeah.
I did. And I didn't trust people to do things for me because they weren't going to do it like I did it.
Right. But they don't have to do it like you do it, right?
They don't have to.
Sometimes they do it better.
Yes.
My VA does better with the marketing than I could ever do.
Of course.
You
give them the content.
Right.
You know yourself.
Yeah.
Give them who you are and your content, what your business is.
You have to give them all that stuff.
And let them fly. They fly and they fly with it.
Yeah. You check in, make sure it's keep going and checks. I saw there was a podcast episode came out. Well, today, I guess it's Friday, and the audio's all screwed up. Like I'm talking and you're saying something, I'm talking over you. It's not synced up. So I sent her an email and said, something's wrong with this show. What's going on? She goes, oh, I'm on it. And she's fixing it. It's probably fixed by the time we're done. But I couldn't figure. I didn't even do video editing before. We just go up. I just throw it up as, in its raw form because I don't know how to do that. And she took it all over and put in commercials and all that video graphics and put TikToks, reels. I would never do that stuff. That's not what I do. I'm a lawyer. So your job is to deal with the inventors and help them invent and do all the stuff. Without a team, you can't. You just can't do it without a team. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people feel like they got to do everything. They're like they don't get it.
They haven't been there. They haven't tasted that taste of someone helping them. You know, like you said, I mean, I have a couple of people overseas who are absolutely spectacular, amazing, brilliant, get stuff done so quickly
Yeah.
and the right way.
Yeah.
You know, it's really amazing. It's amazing the access that we have to, I mean, AI and everything else. But I mean,
professionals all over the world, right? AI, everything. It's really changed, and I don't think people realize not only will it improve their productivity and maybe their profit and so forth, but the impact it has on their lifestyle. I mean, that's why we do a lot of this stuff, right? So we have freedom, and we can do things as we want to, and we're creative and whatever. But sometimes it's overwhelming, right? Because you're trying to do everything yourself, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like, it's not fun anymore. Well,
not at all.
That's where the people come in. Like, let them do what they're good at, and you do the other thing, and then you can sleep at night knowing that the world is still like the wheels are still turning, right? Because if you look at people overseas, I think it's a 12-hour. So she's working in the middle of the night. I'm sleeping, whatever. Maybe you're getting your calendaring from one software and you're invoicing from another. Evenue is a platform that we use as one of our sponsors to run our entire business. And there's other features like auto payments and integrations with QuickBooks. Visit evenue.com, EVONUE.com to learn more. There's also a link in the show notes. And be sure to tell them that the Accidental Entrepreneur referred you. This podcast is brought to you by our affiliate sponsor, iEmployee. iEmployee is a virtual assistant service that hires almost anyone for any role in your company right out of the Philippines. Most roles range from $7 to $9 an hour for highly skilled and experienced VAs. And whether you need an executive assistant, social media manager, video editor, customer service, sales, you name it, they have it. We use iEmployee for our VA services, from editing and promoting the podcast to all the PR and promotion of our law firm. iEmployee acts as a virtual field supervisor on the back end with live video monitoring and reports on a daily basis with screenshots of your VA's workday, and along with complete HR and payroll duties. No more paying for overpriced and underqualified workers. There's a link in the show notes to get a 1-week free trial, and I encourage you to take advantage of it. You know,
it's a miraculous thing. I mean, to be able to get the things done, I feel so free. I have to say, I just do. Yeah. I feel so much freer with the way things are running now. I was constantly, not to say I'm not constantly going now, because I love what I do. I love my business. I love working with my clients.
Right.
But I have the freedom and flexibility to go to the beach with a book.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Because they're still doing stuff when you're.
Because they're still doing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
There's a lot to be said for that, to be able to say, you know what, I do that in the summertime. No podcast Fridays. I take it off, spend it with my wife. The world, I don't do surgery like somebody's going to die on a Friday if they get in the emergency room and I don't show up. So that's not going to happen. It's fine. It's a choice.
But wait, you're talking yourself into that, Mitch, because,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I go, this is okay, right?
Yeah.
I can be here. It's okay.
The world's not going to stop.
It's actually getting done. They don't need me to do this. It's getting done.
Yeah. Well, that's what made you crazy, probably, right? Because you're thinking it's not happening if I'm not doing it. Like, you can't live like that. It's not, you get to the point in your life, I'm going to be 59 in December, where, you know, if I want to go to the gym on Tuesday and Thursday and get to the office by 10 o'clock, that's a choice. Like, I can do that. I don't have to be in the office at 8 o'clock in the morning to do work. It never affected the results. Like, you know what I mean? Yes. I get more done in a shorter period of time than you get in it. Yeah, it's just not necessary. Not at this point. Maybe when I was 25, okay, fine. So I was getting in 6 o'clock, leaving, going to the city. Those days we didn't have remote work. It was all commuting. Right. It was different. But now you can choose. I'm a big proponent of that. You can choose to create the lifestyle that you want. Yes. Find the people to do the things that are making you nuts because you're thinking about them all the time. It's not happening, and I got to get back to this. Attorneys tell me that all the time. Oh,
it's a mindset.
Yeah, but I got to do the work. I mean, how do I market, network, and do? I got to get the work done. I go, yeah, well, What do you mean? We all have to do that. You have to get somebody to do that for you. Yeah, I really should. They don't, like you said.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's a mindset. It really is, because I still talk myself into things, right?
Yeah.
So this morning, getting up early, standing outside on the pavement, breathing in healthy air,
Yeah.
and getting to the gym by a certain time, like getting to the gym. And I'm going, wow, this is freedom. I can
Yeah.
do this. And you are creating your own lifestyle.
Yep.
Create that mantra. Get up in the morning, go to the gym, take care of yourself.
Right.
Take care of yourself. And the work is happening. It's happening.
Right. And it's not you neglecting your business. Your business is probably better off because because you're doing it that way. The
Yeah.
most successful people I've had on the show, they do not do things themselves. They do very few things themselves. They do the really important stuff. Then they have people report to them and they talk to them, and they may just make sure it's just keep moving along. And then they're working on the next idea or invention.
That's right.
Whatever it is, you know. Yeah.
The important stuff is I showed up here today.
Here we
I
are.
showed up here for you, Mitch.
You didn't even find me. Didn't you have how did we connect?
My
You're
team.
a booker
My
or
team.
your team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jolie,
And I was
right? Jolie?
Jolie, yes.
Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what's funny? I reached out to her this morning. I said, Jolie, I don't have any of Lisa's stuff. She's coming on the show. I don't remember what we talked about, whatever. You got to send it over to me. She sends it over to me, and I realized that, well, I didn't file it under Jolie. I filed it under Lisa. So I wrote back up, Jolie, I'm so sorry. I do have all of Lisa's stuff. You guys are totally on top of things. It's just in a different folder. And you know, then I remembered our conversation. But I was panic in the morning, so I'm looking for everything because I don't spend the time following up with you to send me. That's on you guys.
Right, exactly. What a blessing. What a blessing. Thrilled. And I have to tell you something very funny. So I was so busy listening to your podcast
Oh,
while I was curling my hair
yeah.
that I so got stuck listening to your podcast that I almost didn't get on the podcast.
Well, that's flattering. I appreciate it.
Seriously.
Yeah.
No, so good, so informative, and so real.
Yeah. Well, you have a
So
show, don't you? Have a podcast?
I do.
Yeah. I think
Yes.
what's great about the whole platform is it's just, you know, good people coming together to have good conversations that are valuable to people and hopefully helpful, right? In your world and in my world, you know, where people can say, oh, yeah, you're right. I do need to do that. I have an idea. Let me reach out to Lisa. But okay, I understand what I got to do, that I shouldn't be doing everything myself and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully people are listening and they'll wake up and go, wait, this doesn't have to be like this. I can enjoy this more and be more successful.
Exactly.
You know.
And be at ease doing it. I mean, so what I do is I help people from the beginning to the end, from concept to fruition and everything in between. So
I'm
consult
curious.
them.
Well, I mean, we can get into maybe some other inventions. So how did that come about? Like somebody met you and say, Lisa, you know, you're inventors. Can you help me do this? Like, is that kind of how it like organically came about?
Everything did happen organically. I mean, meeting Cindy and the whole thing with the bosom buddy and that's in at the studio and everything. So yes, someone did come to me and say, you know, I see that you're doing products. I mean, how can you help me?
Yeah.
Can you help me get on QVC? Can you help me? You know, can you come and teach a course?
Right.
So I'll give you a fine example of one of the greatest things that happened to me in this business, right? So I teach the art of inventing. I go to schools, Rutgers University, Princeton University, I teach all. Dionne Warwick, let me back it up. I write music, I write poetry, all that
Oh,
stuff.
you're real creative. You got
All
everything
that,
going on.
all that. So
Yes.
anyway, I
That
reach out
explains a
to,
lot.
long story short, I reach out to Dionne Warwick because I wrote a song, a beautiful song, wrote this beautiful song. So of course I reach out to Dionne Warwick, right? And Whitney
Jersey,
Houston,
right?
right?
She's from New
Yeah,
Jersey. She's
right.
her name's Aunt.
Whitney Houston,
Right.
cousin, Whitney Houston.
Orange.
So reach out to Dionne Warwick. I'm talking to her about my song. Well, she calls me back, and I'm making a very long story short. She calls me back, and we have a wonderful conversation. And she says, you know, what else do you do? And I talk about the inventing, et cetera. She says, I want to get you into all of the East Orange school districts teaching inventing and entrepreneurship.
That's fantastic.
So talking about, did things just happen organically? Yeah, that happened organically. Dionne Warwick got me into every East Orange school district teaching about entrepreneurship.
Right, except that you didn't just reach out to Dionne Warwick. You had to make a little bit more effort to connect with her, right?
I'll tell you what I did. I'm very, very persistent, Mitch.
Well, it
Okay.
sounds to me like you're persistent and creative about it, right?
Right. So reached out, I called. See, back in the day, you were actually able to get people's phone numbers.
Yeah, it was hard. It's harder nowadays. Yeah.
So I knew a couple of people who knew Dionne Warwick and gave me a phone number, called the number, got a man on the phone, didn't really think it was Dionne Warwick's house. There
Right.
was no way. There
Right.
was no way. I'm
Yeah.
calling Dionne Warwick's house.
Right.
So, spoke to this guy, told him what I was looking for. I had this music. I was interested in engaging with Dionne Warwick and Whitney Houston and yada yada. And I'm driving down the street, hang up the phone. He says, "Yeah, she'll get back with you." Driving down the street, listening to Luther Vandross and Dionne Warwick on my 8-track in my car.
How many people listening know what an 8-track is?
All right. Listening to Dionne Warwick and Luther Vandross in my car, pulling into my driveway. My phone rings and it is Dionne Warwick. She says, "Is this Lisa?" I said, "Yes, it is." She goes, "This is Dionne Warwick."
You're like, "Yeah, sure it is."
What? I mean, you can't mistake the voice. You know Dionne Warwick's voice.
Yeah, no, of course.
This is Dionne Warwick.
Right.
I pull into my garage. My mother's in the house. The dog is barking. Now I have the big phone. Well, I'm really aging myself.
Yeah,
the big giant phone.
Yeah,
the big phone.
Yeah,
with the big cord.
Early days of cell phones. Yeah, there were
correct
phones. Right, I remember.
Correct. So anyway, Dionne Warwick is on the phone. Have a long talk with her about everything. She stayed on the phone. We engaged, and she's still like that to this day. We talk still once a week. An amazing, amazing person who has made a lot of amazing connections for me. Introduced me to a lot of people, but it's again engaging and having that no fear to talk with people. Having no fear. That's a big thing for me. I don't fear speaking with people. Because, I mean, we're all human. We do all this. You know what I mean? Anyway, so.
I feel the same way. But it took me a while to get there, when I was younger. But, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're all the same.
They're all willing to talk. Nobody's rude. If they are, then fine. Whatever.
Then you don't deal with them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. You don't have to.
Got it. So, does she still live in New Jersey?
She still does. She's still here. Yep, she's still there.
Just be like 90.
She's 80. She's 80. I believe she just turned 86, or she'll be, I think, 87 near your birthday.
Got it.
You said December what? The
December
16th?
16th.
Okay. She's around that time. Yeah. Still performing.
Yeah, well, she's amazing.
Touring. She was just in Hawaii. Yeah. She's all over the place touring. But anyway, so she gave me an opportunity that I'll never forget, getting into all these schools that led me to all of the different universities to teach the inventing programs.
That was kind of where it started. The teaching.
That's where it started. The teaching.
And you weren't calling her about that.
No.
Yeah, I think things happen in the most unpredictable ways if you are just connecting with people. Like you had this song and you're like, well, I'm going to call Dionne Warwick, and you found her. And then she said, what else do you do? And you start talking. And I always tell my kids, that's why you go and you network and you meet people. I have such a huge network of people just because I'm relentless about connecting with people. You never know who you're going to meet or what you're going to bring to someone else and how it's going to affect your life. And, it's just, it's The Secret, that book.
It is The Secret. Yes, of course.
100%.
It is The Secret.
My kids. Yeah. You play in traffic, you get hit. I don't know what's going to hit you, but that's the way that life works.
If you ask for it, you put it out there in the universe.
Right.
You put out your
serious and you're doing it. It happens.
It's going to happen.
And it doesn't even seem connected to whatever it is you're doing, but it is.
100%.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I believe you're opening yourself up also, Matt. You're really opening yourself up.
That's a good expression, opening yourself up.
Yeah. Yeah. And you have to be able to do that. I mean, for some, you have to practice.
Right.
Because everybody doesn't have that openness.
Right. That's why you go to networking events or you go to your chamber of commerce or whatever you can meet people and get out of your comfort zone. I think that's good for your success and connections.
Yes.
That's my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And one thing led to another there with Dionne Warwick. She gave me a product.
Right.
That she wanted to put on QVC back in the day. And so on and so on. And that's how it went. So then walking through those doors of QVC and pretty much saying to myself, I know that I'm the minority here. I know I am because it was a fact. I said, I am going to break off my shoe heel, leave it in the door, because I'm coming back over and over and over again. And I'm bringing people with me.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing people with me. And I did that. I got the opportunity through Cindy to get on QVC, and I kept on going back.
With
Why?
people, not just your stuff.
Not just my stuff. No, I'm about watching, helping people succeed. I'm
Of course.
about lifting each other up two hands at a
Yeah,
time.
no, it's
Sometimes you got to use
all,
that foot.
that's the way the world should work.
No, you got to do it.
Yeah.
So got into QVC, started, bringing a lot of my products in. I'll tell you about one of the best selling products I had on QVC in 30 seconds, made
Okay.
how
Well,
much
I've
money?
heard of it.
The Perfect Pockets. It was called Perfect Pockets. It was
Okay.
Perfect Pockets organized. So one day I was at home,
Yeah.
Perfect Pockets. I was at home for 8 hours one day organizing, right?
Okay.
Organizing my Tupperware lids and well, not Tupperware, my plastic
Yeah, I know
lids.
Tupperware is Tupperware still
My,
around? Is
I think so,
Yeah, okay. It's
but
Rubbermaid, it's all kinds of
yeah,
different companies.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
my plastic lids.
Yeah.
Um, so my plastic lids and had them in shoe boxes, and one lid came out after another, and I
Oh
said,
yeah,
"Why am
it
I? What
drives
am I
me
doing?
nuts. Our cabinet
What
drives me crazy.
what am I doing here?
Yeah.
I'm an inventor. Let me create something
Right.
to put these lids in, or organize them."
Yeah.
So in an 8 hour day, I created this thing. I drew it up and had it manufactured, brought it to QVC.
Hmm.
It was in Bob's Kitchen on QVC.
That
And
was
in
the
30
show. That
seconds,
was the show,
Bob's
Bob's
Kitchen on
Kitchen.
QVC,
Okay.
Bob's Kitchen, in 30 seconds, my product sold out. That was in
Nice.
Forbes. That was Forbes magazine. That
Nice.
article is in Forbes.
Nice.
Sold out.
Yeah. What does sold
Just,
out mean? How many units did you have to provide?
well, I had over 3,500 units
Okay.
there.
3,500. Okay.
Yes, yes. So it sold so well there. I remanufactured them, sold them on a different network, HSN, for a different use, for stockings and magazines and hair accessories and so forth. But anyway, so yeah, so kept myself going back over and over again because of relationships and
Of
networking.
course.
Talking about, right?
Right. Now they're important to you and you're important to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Networking to those same buyers, and to this day, those same buyers, some of them are there, some of them are gone, but keeping those relationships going in
Yeah.
order to keep your business going.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that a lot of people who are successful, if they look back, they couldn't have predicted like how the connection would be made with this one person who you were talking to, and then they remembered you were talking to their friend who does this, and then they said, Lisa, I want you to talk to John, and you go, I don't even know you knew about the, and then next thing you know, you can't even trace it anymore at some point, but it all kind of happens if you're out there, like you're saying, open to it. That's what I tell my kids. Go to events. My son's looking for a job. He's in tech. He does programming, and they have layoffs all the time. Like that's the nature of the industry, especially with AI and all this kind of stuff.
Sure.
So I said, you got to get out there. You can send all kinds of resumes, but you're probably not going to hear back from the resumes, right? Because they don't have any connection with you. There's thousands of people looking for jobs. So you got to connect. So he got some opportunities recently that was because somebody had referred him to some other company that he had stayed in touch with.
Yes.
And then they mentioned something to another guy. The guy's not even sure. And because he knew you, let's use you as the example, right? He's talking to my son because that's good enough for, like, it's like, listen, if you have the resume and Lisa thinks you're a good person, I want to talk to you as opposed to all these other resumes I have on paper. And he got in there, but it had nothing to do with really the networking he was doing. It was just, he was open to it. The secret, the world is going around his head, And
I talk about the white canvas all the time, and I have them with me all the
yeah.
time. Okay. I have a white canvas that I hold up every week.
Okay.
And I tell everybody, I have this thing called Motivational Monday. And on Motivational Monday, I hold this canvas and I say, write on this canvas what you want for yourself in your life. What kind of business you want, how you want your day to go, but write it on your canvas.
So it's like a
and
blank board, and you're writing. It's like
write it
what do you
down.
call that?
Yeah, it's a clean slate.
Board? Yeah, clean
Right.
slate.
So it's literally a canvas. I buy hundreds of these canvases and I hand them out.
Oh,
And
physically.
it's physical.
Yeah.
It's a physical canvas. And I mean, I give them as gifts and things like that to some of the people who come on. And it's a little cheap thing, but it's a metaphor,
It's an
right? But
exercise,
but
right?
not really.
Sure.
Exactly. It's an exercise. So write on your canvas what you want in your life, and step into it. Step into it. Don't just write it down
Right.
and put it in a place that's going to irritate the crap out of you.
Yeah, that's a good.
Take
That's a
that
good
canvas,
explanation.
put it on your bathroom mirror so it's irritating, so you see it.
Right.
Put it on your countertop so you can
Right.
see it and walk into that thing.
Yeah. To
So
take
say
action.
it.
Take
Yeah.
action now that you wrote it down, because people don't even get to write it down. Writing it down is a huge step, but you're right. It doesn't go any beyond that. You got to do things.
Right. Who you want to meet, who you want to help you with your business and your networking
Right.
and your connections. What is it that you want? And walk into it. Same reason I call Dionne Warwick. Same reason I call QVC. I call the buyers. I follow up. I mean, I'm not calling people off the hook now. I know people's emails, emails
Nowadays you
is,
do, right.
but you follow up and you
Right.
follow up. The success is following through.
Right.
When you connect with somebody, never stop connecting. Another important thing is ask them how they're doing, Mitch.
Yeah, people are appreciative of that. They
When
are.
you reach out to a buyer, ask them how they're doing. How
Right.
you doing? How's your family? How's it going? Not just
About the
here's the
product or
business.
whatever. Right.
Right, right. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't want to go on and on and on.
No, but you want a human connection just to make sure that, I appreciate that when people say that to me, and I think they appreciate it when I say that to them, because it shows that you care, that you're not just a robot trying to get something out of them.
Because that's where where we live now. Everybody is a robot.
Yeah.
Just talked about that. But the human connection is very, very important.
Right. But
It
you
really
also
is.
have to have the boldness. Like, there have been a lot of people, if they wrote a song and you said, well, why don't you call Dionne Warwick? They'd be like, I can't call Dionne Warwick. What, are you kidding me? I can't even reach her, let alone will she talk to me. That probably never entered your mind, right? You weren't like, I can't do that. You just did.
No,
No, right? I didn't think so.
it doesn't occur to me. None of it.
Of course.
If there's
Part of the
something,
success formula.
yeah, I mean, just do whatever that thing is and don't talk to people about it. The
Right.
last thing you should
Oh,
do,
no, because they want to
here's
protect you, and
advice.
they're all, whatever. What's the word? They're negative, and that's like the worst. Everybody wants to, or they're not doing well in their life, so they transfer all their anxieties to you. Well, you can't call Dionne Warwick. She's not going to talk to you. What are you doing? You're wasting it. And then you got all these things in your head, and next thing you know, you don't do it.
Let it go. Say nothing
Right.
to
Just do it.
anybody.
Yeah.
Keep it to yourself and just do it. Walk through it right on the canvas that you're going to do it, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Your networking, your marketing, whatever the things that you're going to do, just do it without telling anybody else that you're doing it.
Right.
Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a negative response.
talk,
I don't
yeah.
care who it's from. It's natural, I think, for people
It's defensive.
to say,
right?
well, I don't know. Why would you do that?
Right.
Why would you invent that thing? That's stupid. It's out there.
Right.
It's already been invented. So what?
Right.
So
Exactly. There's
what?
always room. And by the way, that's why they're not doing anything.
Right.
Like they're projecting it and thinking to themselves, I can't do that. That would be crazy. Why would Lisa do that? And then they're projecting on you. And that just holds you
Right.
back.
There's the redesign. And I have to tell you something else. I'm sure you know this well. When someone comes up with an invention, I mean, typically comes from probably something they saw subconsciously
Something happened, right?
in many instances, but it's their original thought. It's typically your original thought, right?
Yeah.
You write the thought down and it's 9 times out of 10. Again, these numbers 9 times out of 10. It's not like the product that already exists. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And just because a product exists, the other product exists, doesn't mean that you can't enhance
Right.
the product. I'm not saying steal somebody's
No,
idea.
You can improve and make it different, whatever.
Right. Look at cell phones. Look at coffee pots. I mean, if God forbid we only had Mr. Coffee, right?
Right. If there's no
Mr.
other coffee
Coffee.
makers, we would have a problem. Yeah, of course. But the mechanism of making the coffee is probably a little bit different. The result's the same.
Right. The result's the same, but exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's why they won't let you patent certain things. I mean, they'll be like, listen, you can't have the corner on, a cup. Like there's all kinds of cups. You can have a patent on the design of this particular cup, but that doesn't mean you can't make one that's better for whatever reason, whatever it has.
Yeah, the redesign.
Yeah.
The redesign.
Yeah.
Come up with your own design. Come up with your trademarking. You know all this stuff, right? I hope you know.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I'm not an IP attorney, but I do trademarks for clients and stuff. I don't do patents. I'm not an engineer, but I have colleagues who do. Sure.
Right, of course.
Absolutely.
So trademarking. I mean, the name is everything. And I want to talk about that with you also. Like,
yeah, right.
yeah, it's the name. It's my first in my book, my first chapter is name it and claim it in my book.
Yeah.
Name it and claim it. Talk about what the product is. Put it out there. Make that logo, that design, the thing that people want. Facebook, Instagram, the camera. You know what it is. Create a logo design and your name that people are going to remember. The accidental entrepreneur. Look at that back there.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a big part of putting products out there and having them stick.
Yeah. Ironically, I filed for a trademark for the show, and then Entrepreneur Magazine, entrepreneur.com, sent me a cease and desist letter. They didn't like the fact that I was using Entrepreneur. So I didn't want to spend the money fighting them. So I got to the point, because I had a couple of colleagues that are like, I'll fight them for you. And I was like, nah, whatever. So I just used the TM and I just used common law and they stopped bothering me when I withdrew the application. But yeah,
That's
they go after anybody that files anything with the word entrepreneur, because do you know what genericide is in the IP world?
no.
It's when a term becomes so generic, like Velcro or
Hmm.
like Xerox, that it's used, or like Google maybe, that it's used in common colloquialism, that doesn't have protection anymore. So there's this funny video on YouTube about Velcro that it was originally whatever it's called, loop and hook or something like
Hook.
that.
It's called hook and loop.
Hook and loop,
You're
right?
not allowed to say. You're not allowed to say Velcro.
Right, because of they're worried about genericide, and they lose their
Right.
trademark because everybody just calls it Velcro, and that's
Right.
So you got to kind of avoid that stuff. This is funny video, but
Well, that's why I said plastic lids, not Tupperware
yes, you
lids.
corrected yourself.
Right. I correct.
Ruin their trademark because that's your world. Yeah.
That's my world. Can't say Tupperware lids. Can't say Velcro. And this was all actually for things that I was writing up for QVC. Can't say that. And what's it made of? Is it made of this? Nope. It's not made of Velcro. It's made of hook and loop.
Right. Yeah. Good.
Because
So right.
then they're going after QVC for
Right.
saying that you're showing a product that's Velcro. That
And it's not
Velcro didn't give you the license. Did not give you the license to do
Right.
this, to
Right.
use their name
Yeah, but if
and their brand.
if they don't protect their name and enforce that thing and send cease and desist letters and make no effort and just say, it's great that everybody thinks it's Velcro, they will lose that protection.
Oh, isn't that right?
That's what genericide is, where the Patent and Trade Office says you don't really have a trademark anymore because everyone uses the word Velcro for every product that's all out there. You've never enforced it, and you lose that protection. That's why
Isn't
they're
that
going
something?
after it. Yeah. Yeah, you have to enforce it's not just use, you have to enforce it. So
You have to keep on enforcing that thing, whatever that brand name is.
right, because if the brand name has become so common that other people are just knocking it off and they're using the brand name and you don't make any effort to go after them and to stop them from using the name, eventually the trademark office is going to say, well, you don't really have a trademark. It's just common in society. And
It's just being used.
Right. So you can't differentiate your product from someone else's product that says Velcro.
Isn't that something?
Yeah,
right.
So
I didn't know. So I'm going to write down that term.
Genericide.
Genericide?
Yeah. It's an IP term. Yeah. And if you can, I'll see after the show, if I can find the video, I'll send you the link. It's all these IP attorneys in this choir singing this thing for Velcro about how don't use the word, use hook and loop or loop and hook and loop.
It's hook and loop.
Velcro, right? It's very funny because my friend who's an IP attorney found it, sent it to me. I'll find it and I'll send it to you. I got to say, I have this funny image of you in your house, and every cabinet or door or something I open has like some sort of an invention that you have fixed or done or whatever. Is it true?
You're almost right.
Yeah, because you probably can't deal with anything and go, that is not the best way to do this. This has got to be better.
And that's everybody. I mean, everybody.
Some people don't act on it, right?
Right. But how many people, I'm sure you've done too in your home, your wife has done, fix something up, rig something up to make it work for you, right? In your home.
Right.
And we're not thinking it's an invention.
No, because you're conditioned to that. You're in the world, right? It's easy for you to say, oh, I can make a product out of that because you've done it so many times. Other people, they're just like, well, they just want their knives to stick to the wall and they don't fall off or whatever. I don't know. Yeah.
I say 99% of the world has mental inventions.
Yeah, but nobody acts on them.
But they don't
right? Because they jury-rig things up and they're like, I don't think, and they don't even think about it.
Well, because they don't know Lisa exists. They don't know Lisa Ascolese, the inventress, is here to help them do it.
Exactly.
Create it, get it done.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, anything it can be done. Don't get me started, Mitch.
But that's a good way to kind of wrap things up, right? If you're out there, first of all, what's the best way for people to like get involved in your world, to connect with you?
Sure. Go to my website. It's very interesting.
Okay.
It's Inventing ATOZ.
Okay.
My email, info@inventing A to Z.
We'll put all these in the show notes too. Okay.
Sure. All social media platforms.
Okay.
On Instagram, _inventress.
Okay. And you have a podcast. What's the podcast?
I have the Inventress's podcast.
Okay. Very good.
The Inventress's podcast.
Got it.
And I have a book.
Is some of your goals to work more with female entrepreneurs than male entrepreneurs, or just the gamut now?
No, that's just my conference. My conference is called the Association of Women Inventors and Entrepreneurs, but it's everybody. It
Got it.
sounds like it's just women, but it's
But
not.
there's men there too.
And there's men there too. No, my goal is to see all entrepreneurs, inventors succeed. That's the
Awesome.
goal.
I love it.
Not easy. Got to have perseverance, faith, and just keep on moving.
Yeah.
Never stop. Never stop moving.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And I think that maybe people listening to this will be more attuned to the things that they have in their house that they've kind of rigged up or fixed, and they're like, maybe that could be a product. Let me call Lisa.
For sure. I can't wait to hear what yours is.
Or they call Dionne Warwick and she can connect.
Yeah, Dion, you call Dion, she'll call me.
Right.
Her people will call my people.
Right. Get them all together. Yeah. Oh, boy. Well, I can't thank you enough because I love having inventors on the show and people that are working in the industry and helping people get things going because, there are people out there that have ideas and they don't know what to do. So I guess, is it sunny by you? On a sunny morning up in Union County. Yeah,
Gorgeous.
it's going to be a nice weekend. I don't think we're getting rain until next Wednesday. So have a wonderful weekend. And I can't thank you enough for spending, almost 55 minutes with me on the show.
Thank you. My pleasure. My pleasure. And thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Sounds good.
Have a great day.
You too.
Take care. Bye-bye.
See, how do we stop this? There we go. In addition to being a podcast host, I'm also a small business attorney, mostly providing legal services in New York and New Jersey. With over 3 decades of experience, we can handle most transactional issues. So if you're watching the show and you encounter some sort of legal issue, reach out to us and visit our website, mindhackerlaw.com. Thanks for tuning into the show and for continuing to support us.